Concealing, delaying, and distracting are also spatiotemporal strategies of beauty. The calculation and half concealing produces a seductive gloss. The beautiful hesitates before appearing. Distraction protects it against direct contact. It is essential to eroticism. Pornography is without any distraction. It gets right down to it. Distraction transforms pornography into erotic photography. A proof a contrario, Mapplethorpe shifts his close-ups of genitalia from the pornographic to the erotic by photographing the fabric of underwear at very close range. The photograph is no longer unary, since I am interested in the texture of the material. The photographer takes care to distract from the object. He turns the secondary object into the main object, or subordinates the latter to the former. Beauty also takes place beside the object, Sach. In the marginal Nebensächlich, the beautiful object does not exist. According to Walter Benjamin, Goethe's poetry is turned toward the interior in the veiled light refracted through multicolored panes. The veil affected Goethe again and again where he was struggling for insight into beauty. Benjamin quotes from Goethe's Faust, "Hold tight to what all of it is left you, the dress, don't let it go. Demons already are tugging at the ends, would dearly like to haul it away to the underworld. Hold tight. It is no longer the goddess, you have lost her, but is divine. It is the dress that is divine. The veiling is essential for beauty. Thus, beauty cannot be undressed or unveiled. The impossibility of beauty, of unveiling beauty, is its nature. What is beautiful is the object in its draping, in its veil, its hideout. The beautiful object remains true to itself only under its veil. Unveiled, it becomes infinitely inconspicuous, unscheinbar. To be beautiful categorically means to be veiled. Benjamin therefore demands of art criticism a hermeneutics of veiling. The task of art criticism is not to lift the veil, but rather, through the most precise knowledge of it as a veil, to raise itself for the first time to the true view of the beautiful, to the view that will never open itself to so-called empathy and will only imperfectly open itself to a purer contemplation of the naive, to the view of the beautiful as that which is secret. Never yet has a true work of art been grasped other than where it ineluctably represented itself as a secret. For that object to which in the last instance the veil is essential is not to be characterized otherwise. Beauty neither conveys itself to direct empathy nor to naive contemplation. Both are approaches that try to lift the veil or to look through the veil. The only way to view beauty as a secret is through knowledge of the veil as such. One needs first of all to turn towards the veil in order to recognize what is veiled. The veil is more essential than the veiled object. Page 30. Byung-Chul on Saving Beauty. The veiling also eroticizes the text. God, Augustine says, intentionally obscures the Holy Scripture through the use of metaphorical style, burying things under figures of speech in order to make them an object of desire. The beautiful dress of metaphors eroticizes the Scriptures. Thus, the dress is essential to the Scriptures. Thus, the technique of veiling turns hermeneutics into eroticism. It maximizes the pleasure of the text and turns a reading into an act of love. The Torah also uses the technique of veiling. The text is represented as a lover who hides herself, and only for an instant, Augenblick, unveils her face to the one she loves, who himself remains hidden. Reading turns into an erotic adventure. Verily, the Torah lets out a word and emerges a little from her sheath and then hides herself again. But she does this only for those who know and obey her. For the Torah resembles a beautiful and stately damsel who is hidden in a secluded chamber of her palace, and who has a secret lover unknown to all others. For love of her, he keeps passing the gate of her house, looking this way and that in search of her. She knows that her lover haunts the gate of her house. What does she do? She opens the door of her hidden chamber ever so little, and for a moment reveals her face to her lover, but hides it again forthwith. The Torah reveals herself and hides. Through a light veil she speaks allegorical words. To her love she tells of all her hidden secrets and all her hidden ways which have been in her heart from the beginning. Information, by definition, cannot be veiled. It is transparent by nature. Information is simply given. It repels any metaphor, any veiling dress. It speaks straight out. This is also what distinguishes it from knowledge, which can retreat into secrecy. Information follows an altogether different principle. It is directed towards revealing, towards the ultimate truth. Information has a pornographic nature. For Barthes, veiling is an essential part of eroticism. The most erotic portion of a body is where the garment gapes. That piece of skin which flashes between two articles of clothing, trousers and sweater, between two edges, the open neck shirt, the glove and the sleeve. What is erotic is the staging of an appearance as disappearing. Tear, break, and gap account for the erotic. The erotic pleasure of a text differs from the pleasure of the corporeal striptease, which derives from a progressive unveiling. A catchy novel which moves towards a final unveiling, a final truth, is also pornographic. The entire excitation takes refuge in the hope of seeing the sexual organ, schoolboy's dream, or in knowing the end of the story, novelistic satisfaction. The erotic can do without truth. It is semblance, a phenomenon pertaining to the veil. Seduction is founded upon my intuition of something in the other that remains forever secret for him. Something that I can never know directly about him, but which nevertheless exercises a fascination upon me from behind its veils of secrecy. A pathos of distance, even a pathos of veiling, is inherent to seduction. The intimacy provided by love already diminishes the secret distance which is crucial in seduction. The pornographic film finally lets it disappear altogether. From one figure to the other, from seduction to love, then to desire, sexuality, finally to pure and simple porno. The farther you go, the closer you come to the lesser secret, the smaller enigma towards avowal, expression, unveiling. Not only is the body laid bare, but also the soul. Pornography of the soul marks the absolute end to seduction, which is more play than truth. Beauty is a hideout. Concealment is essential to beauty. Transparency and beauty do not go together. Transparent beauty is oxymoronic. Beauty is necessarily semblance. Opacity is inherent to it. Opaque means shaded. Unveiling disenchants and destroys beauty. Thus, it lies in the nature of beauty that it cannot be unveiled.